Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am a happy guy. I have the chance to review this Ducati Diavel. Let me tell you, this is a mighty Diavel. This takes a little time to get used to the handling, but once you are used to the cornering of this heavy beast, actually it's not that heavy, it's a pretty fun bike. I got to admit, a couple of weeks ago I had this bike for like an hour or two and I was not that impressed. It was a nice engine, but the cornering, the suspension, everything was weird. Very strange. But this weekend I drove it for over like 500 kilometers. And let me tell you, I changed my mind. It has to grow on you. It's like, yeah, you got to fall in love with this bike. You got to give it time. Once you know how to cut corners, how to turn, how to want to change gear, I know everything. Once you get the feeling of this bike, the vibe of this bike, it really is a very impressive bike. When it's standing still, everyone is looking at it. Everyone is like, oh, look at the bike. What a nice bike. I don't know that model. What is it? I've been in the Ardennes, Belgian Ardennes this weekend, and let me tell you, this bike had a lot of attention. There were like 1 million bikers because the weather on Sunday was pretty good. But everywhere I stopped, where I was riding slow, or there were people, or in the small cities, everyone was looking at it, and that was a pretty nice feeling. Even though it's not my own bike, but it is a pretty nice feeling. So my friends were asking, how does this bike ride? How does it feel? And for me, the easiest way to explain is drive it like a V-twin. Drive it like an Harley or something. You can do things with it, low RPM, pull it all the way through. But then, because it has 162 horses, then it's undescribable. Twist the throttle and you will be pushed back in the seat. Undescribable. I told you this was a heavy bike. Actually, it's not that heavy. It's 230-ish kilos. But I think the impression that it's heavy comes from the big ass wide rear tire. It's a 240 in the rear. And it's getting used. You got to learn how to corner with this bike, because you turn it and you gotta work. It's really riding. You gotta work for your corners. It's pretty nice. Good feeling. You give input and you get reaction. I really mean it. This bike grows on you. It has to grow on you. You can adjust the suspension a little bit. The settings, I mean. You can set it low, soft or hard. When you ride it, you feel it. It's softer or it's harder as you set it. The things that I think bothers me the most is the fact that you gotta change gear a lot between first and second, because when you're driving too slow, it really jumps like a horse. It doesn't like too slow of revs. I think, in my opinion, the best RPM range to start is like around 3K RPM, and then upwards it's fine. It's really impressive. The sound it produces. Oh, look, a plane in the air. It's best it's in the air. It's a nice dash configuration. You have the clock, you have the speed, you have the temperature of the engine, you have the RPM. Here on low, You have a gear indicator. Right now I'm in sport mode with a high throttle response. Traction control on setting 2. Then we have the buttons over here. Left thumb. The upper one changes the auto speed to trip 1, to trip 2. To reset them, just hold the button. Beneath, there you see the right side down corner. You have actual consumption of the fuel, the kilometer range, average speed, the trip time, the air temperature. It's pretty cold out here. It is 18 degrees. Don't like it. And the average consumption. I like to set it on range left 252 k's, and I've done 70 k's with it. No, that's not true. I've done like 20 k's with it with this fuel tank. My total trip of today is 70 kilometers. It's clean, it's nice, it's very, very readable, it's manageable, it's not too far. The instrumentarium is really basic but good. This is after all a power cruiser. No bullshit. Only ABS and traction control. And a lot of horses, a lot of torque. Decent weight, decent, 230 kilograms. It's decent. A huge big ass tire in the back. Yeah, not bad. This is the concept of a muscle bike. Power cruiser. The sitting position is very good, very impressive, it's just good. Straight up, but if you want, you can bend your arms. You're a little bit leaning to the front. When you stretch your arm, you can go really relaxed in the seat. It's like you have a nice, ridge in the saddle to sit, to lean to put your butt in the leaning position, to put your butt. It's really pretty comfortable. The seat is firm but soft. I told you yesterday I did like 400, 350, 350, 400 kilometers in one afternoon, and not a single kilometer on the highway. We've been on the bikes from like noon, no, not noon, 10 o'clock in the morning, and we arrived home like, was it 8 o'clock in the evening, so that means we've been on the bikes for like 10 hours. And from the 10 hours, oh, good brakes by the way, Brembo brakes. From this 10 hours it was like a few stops. We stopped for like 2 hours. We drove for 8 hours yesterday. I had no pain in the butt. No pain in the butt, no pain in the arms.
No pain in the butt, no pain in the arms.
Was really enjoyable. I was really enjoying this mighty machine. This engine is phenomenal, undescribable. And even though when you get used to the handling, this bike handles very tight, very nice, very good. It's pretty agile, really. Once you get going, nice bike. I'm gonna try to filter a bit, because I don't like to be in the traffic. I hate traffic. But hey, it's rush hour in Belgium. Why shit, and I have to go past Brussels, so Brussels, ugh. Even on the highway around Brussels, it's crazy. I can tell you, Belmoto, soon we have a surprise for you. We have a surprise, and certainly when you like scramblers. Those little nice machines. A lot of fun to drive. And we have a surprise. The time this video will be out on YouTube, there will be some photos from the little, I can tell a little bit, the little orange bike. The orange bike is a bike built in 1973. It's a 250 cc's. And it's also Ducati. Damn, I told too much already. I should have stick to the orange and then stopped. What you gonna do? You saw the acceleration of this bike. It's really... It makes me smile. As you can see, there is no windshield, no nothing. You feel the wind, but since the position of this bike, positioning on this bike is pretty good. I'm in 5th gear. I have one left. I'm in 6th gear, cruising around 120 k's an hour. Doing like 4k RPM. This really is... You feel very comfortable on this bike. You really do. I am sure that you can do a lot of highway kilometers on this bike. Even though there's no screen, but really is... It's not a bike made for doing 140, 150 all the time. But when you're doing like 120, 110, 120, yeah, it's very manageable. You can do this for a long ass time. I think that we will be mixing some footage of this review with the kilometers we did in the Ardennes. To show you what a beautiful bike this is, what you can do with it, how much fun you can have. Yeah, really, it grew on me. I am so freaking happy. I took this bike for a spin in one of the most beautiful places in Belgium. This is really amazing. You put it in any gear you want, you twist the throttle. Dude, I can imagine. It's magical feeling, magical. Look at me, really, this gives me some butterflies in my stomach. It's like falling in love all over again. I don't want to turn in this bike. This is too much fun. The engine brake on this thing is also, yeah, because it has so much torque. Just let go of the throttle. And you see the speedometer going down, 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 down. Come on, dudes. Let me go. This is like a lightweight on steroids. Some fast cornering, some fast slowing down. This is just engine brake, guys. Look at that moron. And another moron. Yeah, one remark. Finding neutral. When the engine is hot, no problem. But when the engine is cold, oh my god. Sometimes I have to try like 20, 30 times before I find it. It's This bike isn't scared going into the revs. It pulls and pulls and pulls and pulls and pulls, and then yeah, baby. The sound it makes, pretty. It's to fall in love with.